my girls, how you doing? Let's know the pick a card, and today is going to be what is the next action. It's super hot in London. We're going to have another heat wave. I mean, did we ever stop the first one? Snow White is dying right here, right? Okay, so let's do two parts. There's no fluff around, Axelle. Come on. It's not the weather forecast, Axelle. Come on. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2. So part number 1, what is the next action? Page of 1. 10 of Cups, 3 of Wands. Holy schmoly. We have quite a drastic transformation here, because someone who have been behaving very badly, running away from their own truth, probably behaving, in a very fake way, two-faced, very immature. I mean, you name it. You know I don't like this one. I don't. Very fake indeed, very fake. And someone who doesn't want to confront themselves. Male, female, doesn't matter. Is someone who put the head in the sand. I don't want to see the truth. I pretend everything is fine when actually it's not. Because at the end of the day, they know from day one that you are the final destination. They know that in some ways they're going to end up with you, right? It could be 3 people at the same time. So yes, of course, two-faced, you bet. In the meantime, they know that they have to get to that destination and you are that destination. How to get there, that is the point. We don't really know, but we're going to get there because eventually you have happy ever after. So they see you as someone that they want to build a future with, but they don't know how to get around it, okay? They see the whole shebang. That can be a family, that can be traveling the world, that could be all kind of things. We all have different idea of happy ever after, okay? But it's a how to get there. You have the potential, you kind of tick all the boxes, but how to get there, that is a question. So let's have a look. They're resisting you. They're resisting as well that attraction they have for you is very deep because it's beyond the physicality. Yes, of course, the physical attraction, but it's beyond that. And maybe they were first attracted to that physicality indeed, but they found very quickly there was something underneath. So they're battling as well the elements. Maybe they're getting into argument. Maybe it's just like, it's a bit of a struggle indeed, right? The next action is moving towards you, and is very much the child, and that is what the Emperor, male, female, doesn't matter, as you know, no gender in tarot, is what the Emperor is using to rush toward the Empress. So what we have here is someone very determined who's going to have to open the heart. Is very, very, very different to this one. Very different, very mature, much more balanced, much more together, confronting their own truths, not being afraid to their own truths, to their own feelings, to their all that, the attraction, all of that. They're not afraid of it because I'm embracing it. I actually want it because I'm ready for it now. Here we go. So Temperance, interesting, is a card that seems to come out a lot today. It's an idea of balancing the emotion. It's about those 2 jars of water, which is in tarot all about emotions. It's about balancing. So you can be within yourself, within themselves, in between each other as well. You're also meant to be. With Temperance, is like that invisible hand that is pushing you toward each other. So you're meant to be. So is it just a question, okay, we know we're going to end up together, so we may as well make it work. And how we're going to make it work? We're going to make it work in a more balanced way, more suitable way. I don't know why I want one more. Here we go. There's an idea of you being perceived as someone untouchable. You perceive as someone out of the league totally. And that's why they feel, what the point of even going there? Why do I even think that person is going to be my happy ever after when I don't even manage to get, past that level of Page of Wands? There is a big jump from the Page of Wands to the Emperor. Massive. By the end of the day, that's why it's happening here, right? We have... it's very opposite indeed. But I do see this kind of jump happening more and more regularly this year particularly. So that's very interesting. Because at first I was quite shocked. How can you go from that petite-minded to someone so determined and powerful and strong-willed? Wow, how can you do that? But yes, transformation indeed. That's what I mean. When you have the memo, you have the memo, period, right? So let's have a major arcana to see is what is the next action, but obviously it's to move towards you. It is very straightforward here. The High Priestess, yeah, you already know that. Absolutely. And they perceived you probably that way, like you could see the final destination with them as well. So but you sat on it, you're gonna, okay, you have to go through a process before you get the memo, fine, whatever, you take your time, because I'm doing my thing, right? I'm busy, but I already know the end of the story. All right, here we go. So you had that way to perceive them in a way that disturbed their truth, because they were wearing their mask and suddenly, ooh, you see through them. They don't like that very much. They prefer to put their head in the sand. No, I don't want to face myself, thank you very much. Go away from me. And then they have to finally get to that point because they know they end up with you. Okay, so pile number 2, what is the next action? 5 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so we're gonna get there eventually, because there is that idea of back and forth, but that is representing number 8, so there's no ending to this story, but it's a lot of in, out, hot, cold, blah 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 blah. We know the story. Someone is very much tormented about you, trying to forget you, trying to not even think about it. Also very much tormented within themselves. They're battling themselves, they're battling maybe other people as well. It's the idea of conflict within, very much so. So it translates, of course, as that back and forth. Sometimes they think they can handle you, sometimes they think they can't. So that, of course, it's going to be hot, cold all the time. But do we have a final, decision eventually? Yes, we have, because there is an idea of ending a cycle, starting a new cycle. There is the idea of resolution. I don't know if you appreciate, but this week we have a lot of the Wheel of Fortune. There's an idea of resolution. Definitely. It's an idea of things coming to a point where things have to change. We cannot continue to have the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's exhausting everybody. And yes, you're right. It's an idea of preparation, meeting, opportunities. And that's what we call normally good luck, good fortune indeed. So let's have more. Yeah. Here we go. So we have resolution right there. Someone is choosing you. Someone is leaving behind maybe a behavior, a way of being, and embracing love, embracing maybe self-love as well, because they're being battling themselves, they're being very tormented. So that is no self-love, that is no peace. They have to find that inner peace, and that is about understanding themselves, purging whatever needs to be purged, understanding themselves, knowing as well, recognizing what is destructive for them. Or maybe for you as well, you can always reverse, in tarot. Maybe you need to do that as well a little bit, to purge whatever is destructive towards you, in order to actually open yourself to your own truth and to self-love and inner peace. But at the same time, I can't help myself to see there's number 6 here, which is an idea of love. Okay, but that can very much be self-love as well. But you do need to go through that self-love in order to love somebody. I'm not saying that you need to be fixed in order to be able to love somebody, but you need to have a minimum required. Okay, what I mean? So yeah, minimum strengths required here in order to confront the lion, but also it can be seen as you being able to tackle that lion. That may be someone that was unsettled, very difficult to perceive, and very difficult to maneuver around, but you manage to maneuver around that person very well, and you're probably the only one who can actually, you don't scare me, you don't worry me, you don't, no, don't impress me the way you are. No, doesn't work. So all that noise you make doesn't bother me at all, so carry on, you know what I mean? But yeah, because you are very grounded. So that behavior of tormenting, I don't know who I am, I'm fighting myself, I'm coming, I'm going, you're like, okay, whenever, because I'm grounded, I'm taking care of myself. I have my own money, I have my own independence, I have my own house, I have my own thing going on, I have my own life. I am like an oak tree, I've been going through a lot of storms, a lot of tsunami. I don't need this, right? So whenever you are fed up doing all kind of crazy stuff, because that is completely opposite of each other. I mean, totally. You are about longevity. This one is like explosion here and there and everywhere, like all of that. No, you don't. You know what? When you settle down, when you come down, when you grow up, not in a patronizing way, but like, when you're done, hey, you let me know, right? And that's it, because you're in your power. This person trying to fight the attraction as well they have around you, but they cannot. They keep watching you because you are very much, shining bright. You're center stage, backstage, hiding anywhere. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Look at this. Look at that strength here. I'm in my own power. Do you have a problem with that? Because I'm cool. Wow, ooh, this person finds someone to fight against, definitely. So they're going to have to work it out. Number 8, infinity number, that come out a lot as well. It's an idea of, never going to close. So that back and forth, we cannot carry on doing this. We have to make up our mind and eventually work towards, the solution. What kind of skills can I learn? What kind of tools can I use in order to make it work? Because eventually, we work it out. Number 8. Infinity number, right? So let's have a major arcana here, but someone has to learn some lessons and put into practice in order to make this work, okay? Very much so. Let's have a look. Death, yeah, it's an idea of restarting. Death is a rebirth. It sounds very dramatic, but yeah, they have to let go of that idea of battling, the idea of back and forth, about like, I'm fighting against the element. You know what? There's no point. You know what I mean? You're not going to win, so cool it down. Remove the ego, remove the attitude, remove the arrogance, remove all of that. And, let's stay, what? What was that? I was doing so well, right? Okay, let's stay cool and clear to who we are and work it out. Work it out, okay? So it's a new beginning for sure, a rebirth, but this sound proper. And you set the tone, you're the Queen of Pentacles, male, female, doesn't matter, right? It's about, okay, either you're grounded or you go out and play somewhere else because I don't have time for this. Okay, this back and forth, I'm tired of it. Okay, so make up your mind, come back when you grow up. Otherwise, don't bother me. Boom, like it. On this note, have a beautiful day and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Ciao.